Below that, you can write down this. Yeah, below that query. Write a query. Find out minimum and maximum tax amounts. Minimum and maximum tax amounts. Okay, so we'll just keep both in one single query, minimum and maximum, and without a group by, means here in the total column I just need to get the information, so group by won't come here. Okay, so only minimum and maximum tax amounts will come, so I'll just make it as minimum min tax amount and this is maximum tax amount. Okay, write down this. Write down this query and maybe you can write down the output as well. So once that is done, below that write a query to find out total tax amount and average tax amount. So query for that would be, so they need the total amount. Total means you have to take the sum. Okay, sum of tax amount. So this will be total tax amount. Okay, and here it will be average of tax amount. So what is meant by average?
Sum of all the tax amount divided by that number of rows, whatever the
Yes.
data is.
Yes. So average means sum of rows divided by number of rows. Okay. So if we have, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sum here is 15, right?
15.
And when you go to the average, it will be 15 divided by 5. Sum divided by number of rows. Correct. So we'll get 3, right? So here also same. Okay. This is the total sum, total tax amount. So average will be this divided by number of rows in particular table. Number of rows in that particular table is around something like some 19,000 rows are there. So when you divide it, so this will be the average tax amount. Okay. And one more thing here you need to remember is if there is a null value in the tax amount. Okay. If there is a null value in the tax amount, so that will be get ignored in case of aggregate functions. So usually what I said, when you do plus with when you do addition or subtraction with null value, what you will get?
We'll get
Null. Null.
You get null only. So for an example, if you write null plus 1, will get null only. Okay. Null into anything, null only. Null plus null is nothing but null only. Okay. So when you do something with null, obviously you'll get null only. But whereas in this case, right? So if there is a null in the tax amount column, it will get ignored in case of aggregate functions. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very important point. Yeah. Write down this select query, and below that make a note. In case of aggregate functions, all records will be ignored. Finished? Yeah. So below that, before going to this query group by class and all, so could you please write down the output for these queries, because this it will be important for some return tests actually. Yeah. Yeah, null into 100. So here, if you do something with null, you will get null only. Okay. So can you tell me what is the output of this?
Throws error.
Why?
It max takes only one argument.
Any other
I think
answers?
it will give 3, sir.
Three, sir.
It will give us 3. Any other answers?
Sir, it throws an error, sir, because only it contains only one argument.
It throws an error. Why? Because max required only one column value, right? One expression, right? Whereas here it will be 1, 2, 3, which means 3 arguments we are passing. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So when you go and execute this, maximum function requires 1 argument. Okay. Clear? Just write down. If I write like select max of 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now
6.
It shows 5, sir. It shows 6.
6.
6, huh?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. It's giving 6. So now there is no commas here. We do have a plus, right? So first what it will do is it will just do sum inside this max. Okay. And max of 6 means obviously 6 only. Correct? Okay. So basically in any of the aggregate functions, when you do any when you do any sum or multiplication, first that will happen, and then it will give us the output. Okay. So 1 into 100 minus 2 into, sorry, what would be the output?
300.
300.
It will be 300. Okay, so basically inside the aggregate functions, when you do addition or subtraction or multiplication division, that will happen, and finally we will get the output. Okay, the only thing is you cannot pass multiple arguments inside the aggregate function. That's what you want to understand. Okay, and an example, when you write, there is a count function for us. Okay, I'm not applying on top of a table, but usually when you do select count of star, the value for this one would be 1, guys. Okay, select count of star, the default value for this function would be 1. And not only count of star, when you write count of 1 or count of 100, anything you write, okay, count of anything will be 1 only. Okay, so I can just go and execute 3. See, here it is 1. Okay, now count of, sometimes they will ask like, count of star plus one more count of star. Now in this case,
2.
1 plus 1, 2.
it will be 2, right? So count of star, it will be 1. One more count of star, it will be 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Okay. Now, what if I write count of null?
Zero
1.
or one.
So operand data type null is invalid for count function. Okay. So it throws an error. So we should not pass null for a count function. Okay. Write down this. And one more is there. Select, we have a dollar in SQL. Okay, so there is a value for dollar. What is the value?
Present.
9999.
91.
So 9999.
90.
4 nines.
Okay, so in SQL the dollar value would be 0.000. Okay, these are important for the written test actually. Okay, now select of 100 by 2. What is the output?
50.
50. Now when you write select 101 divided by 2, now
50.4.
0, 1.
50 only.
because defaultly will take only integer. Okay, it won't consider the decimal points actually. Okay, so if we need the decimals as well, 101 by 2 means it comes like 50.5 something, right?
Yes, sir. 50.5.
Yes, so if we need that, we need to convert into float something. Okay, so but defaultly in the SQL server, when you do divided by, right, so you will get the integer values only, you will not get the decimal points. Okay, now one more thing, select 100 percentage to what could value?
0.5.
Good.
Okay, if I go and execute it, see when in a SQL server, when you do percentage, right, 100% 2, it will basically give us the remainder. తెలుగులో శేషం అంటారు కదా. So 250, okay, 100 divided by it is 0, correct? So no. So now when you do 100 divided by 2, divided by means this slash, it will give us this 50. Okay. So the name on English lo. What do we call it as?
Dividend.
Dividend, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this is dividend. Okay. So now when you do percentage 2, right, it will give us the remainder. Okay. 0 we will get. So in the same way, if I do select 103 divided by 2, percentage 2 means what you'll get?
1, sir.
1. The remainder will be 1, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically why it is 1? I mean, if it is a 1, 103 is a odd number and this is a even number, correct? Yeah, this will help us actually when we are writing some queries. Okay, they want us to find out the odd rows and even rows. In such a case, this formula will help us. Okay.
Sir, this percentage will act as the missing character,
This percentage will act like
the missing number in between. I don't understand what it will do with.
This will give us, see, this formula, right? Really, when you do divided by, this is what it will do, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember this? We used to do in 10th class.
Division, bro.
Division.
Okay.
Okay, so when you do divided by in SQL Server, it will take this dividend value.
The quotient
Okay.
value.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I think this is dividend, this is quotient, right?
100 is a dividend.
Quotient. Yeah.
50 is a quotient.
Who
Yeah,
is the
50 is
divisor?
the
100 is the.
Who is divisor?
sorry?
2 is the divisor, sir. 100 is a
Yeah, 2
dividend.
is the divisor and 100 is quotient.
100 is a dividend.
Is the quotient.
Okay,
50
this is quotient, this is dividend.
No, sir. 100 is dividend.
Remainder.
100 is the
1
dividend.
second. 2 is divisor,
Yeah. 100 is the dividend.
100 is
Dividend
It is
is quotient and 0 is remainder.
coefficient.
And 0 is remainder.
0 is remainder,
Remainder.
correct?
Yes.
విభాజకం something ఏదో అంటారు శేషం. Yeah, so here when you do 101/2, right, SQL Server will give us this 50 quotient value. Okay. Whereas when you do 100 divided percentage 2 in SQL Server, it will give us 0,
Remainder.
the remainder value.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
In some of the situations we'll use this when you're finding out the even rows and odd number of rows. If you want to divide it by 2 and get some quotient value, then we can do this slash. Okay. Understand everyone?
Yes.
Any questions? Yeah, could you please write down these things? Written test law will be important.
Sir.
Yes.
In 611, select count star. How it will give it as a result output as 1, sir?
The default value they had put it for select count of anything be 1.
Yeah, okay. But for select count 100, how it will?
Yeah, anything it will be 1 actually. See, count of 100 means it won't give us 100. Okay, count of anything will be defaultly 1. That's what they have defined. Okay.
Sir, percent mean 1/100,
1 by
100. That 100% 2 is the answer is going to be 1/2, in general normal mathematic calculations.
At 100% 2 means what?
100% mean 100 into 1 by 100 by 2, sir. In general, normal mathematics, what we are
And
going to.
mathematics like that, but in SQL Server it's different.
Okay.
Finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, noted.
No, sir.
Okay.
Completed.
Okay. Next. Write a query. Write down this question. Done. Question is done, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now write down this query first. Okay, done. And below that mention this. Okay, and make a note and write down. Right now, when we are applying aggregate functions, when we are applying aggregate function, make sure all the non-aggregated columns, make sure all the non-aggregated columns which are present in select class make sure all the non-aggregated columns which are present in select class should also present in where?
Group.
Group by class. Group by class. This is very, very important. Next point. The grouping will happen based on the number of columns present in group by class.
Sir, will happen based on the proof or sir, what is that?
Sorry?
The grouping will happen based on the proof columns or
Yeah, based on the number of columns. Number of columns means see, now it is only customer ID, right? Now grouping will happen based on only customer ID. And if I put account number here, okay, so now account number, now the grouping will based upon 2 columns.
okay, sir.
That's what it means. Next. Yeah, next. When we are applying group by class in a particular on a particular column, then the similar values in that column will be grouped into one group. When we are applying group by class on particular column, then the similar values in that column will be grouped into one group and vice versa. Okay, the other similar values will be grouped into another group, right? And it will keep on go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Done. Is that done?
Yeah, it's done.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir, vice versa means just opposite, no, sir.
Sorry.
Vice versa means just opposite, no, sir.
Vice.
Vice versa means respectively.
With respectively means see here I said only one group, right? And next going forward, if there are, see for an example, if I have 1 1 2 1 2 2, so now according to this sentence, right, it will be grouped all ones into one group, right? Vice versa means next to 2 is there now, all twos will be grouped into another group, all threes will be grouped into another group. Okay, likewise it will keep on go,
So on.
so on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Finished. Finished done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you need to do is yeah, this is what I need. Now we will not write all the groups here. Okay. What I will do is 1 second. Customer ID. Let me take top 5 groups, guys. Okay. Just don't write down. I'll just make it in a sequence way. Then you can.
We can also take the screenshot from.
Sorry.
Sir, we can also take the screenshot from.
No, don't take the screenshot. Please write down. Then only you can understand easily. Just wait. First write down the input table. Okay. And I'm just considering only 2 columns here. The input table is this. Okay. This is the input table, guys. Okay. I'm going to write this means below this table, the table name. The table name is sales or starter detail. Okay. Can you write down this please first? Customer ID and tax amount. Done. Done now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in your query, first from class will come, then group by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now in from it will point to the table, and in group by first, in what it will do, it will sort the data, correct?
Okay.
And based upon which column?
That
Customer
group by
ID.
Yeah. So whichever
Customer
column you are taking, right? That column name. Okay. So here I'll just put customer ID because this is the only one column which we have in the group by. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what you can do, just mention this group by will do sorting first on top of this column, customer ID column. Now first sort the data based upon the customer ID column and respectively make the tax amounts. So can you please write down till this one, whatever I have highlighted. Hope everyone is understanding.
For first table, we have to write totally.
Yes, you have to write totally all rows. Done. Done, right?
wait, sir.
Okay, those who are done with this, now you write down the right side again, applying group by on top of customer ID. Okay, and you write down till 5 groups, and this is not required for us. And you just need to put this group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. Make it properly. Yeah.
In grouping, sir. G1, G2 something.
Right.
It is showing
Okay, you want to keep this one on or here?
something like this. So 11000 group is G1, right? So G2 are also having the 11000 number.
G2 11001. No, there is a different group, right? Hello.
Okay, sir. That is that table belongs. The column belongs to the separate table. I thought it is.
Okay. If you want, I can just colorize into different colors. Okay. Finish.
Yes, sir.
And at last, what you can do is, did we mention the order by there? The query? Yeah. Just a sec. Yeah. So which row will come first here? Minimum tax we have selected, correct?
Yeah.
So here it will be, okay, maybe you can make it like, order of execution. This is the order of execution, and the final output I'll put it over here. Okay. And G1 also should come, right? G1. Instead of here, let me put it over in the end. And we just need customer ID in the final output and the tax amount, minimum tax amount. You write down this, order of execution, and no need to put any data. That's fine. And we'll be getting like 187, right? 187.3576. And in this, it will be this, correct? And in 102, it will be 183. And 03, it will be this. And 04, this. This is the final output, guys. When you write a query, right, from your end, you no need to do all these things. Okay, usually SQL Server will do sorting, grouping, and finally it will give us the result set. Okay, but you need to understand how it is going to happen in the backend. Okay.
Can we write down that with mentioning minimum tax amount?
Yeah, write on this output as well. Finished. Finished, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now below that, write a query. Write a query.
Sir, once you scroll up,
Okay,
output out.
this one.
Yes, sir.
Done. Done, right?
Yes.
Okay. Write down next question. Write a query. write a query to find out department wise highest salary and corresponding student names as well. Write a query to find out department wise highest salary.
Marks.
Marks. Department wise highest marks. Department wise marks and corresponding student names. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now which is the input table here? This is the input table.
Yes, sir. The
Yes.
B.
One second. I've written in a different order, no? Let me. Okay, can you please draw this diagram? Table, sorry. With 3 columns. And the table name is student details. Department name, student name, and marks. Done. So once this input table is done, write down this query, please. Write down this query.
ಇವತ್ತು ಇದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕಾಣ್ತದ ಆಮೇಲೆ
Finished? Finished it, right? Yeah. Now what you can do is you take this table as input inner query output. Just a second now. This is a table. And this is your B table. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, this is your B table. Yeah. What I'll just do is I'll just mention it as B. Yeah. And between A and B, what you need to do, you need to perform
Merge.
merge. Okay. And out of this, what columns we have? What are the key columns? Department name to department name, and highest marks to marks. Correct. And finally, selected columns will be
Department name, student name.
one is department name
Student name
and then student name,
and highest.
marks. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Just draw these tables. I'm going to please mute. I'm just going to colorize the I'm just colorizing the key joining key columns. Okay. And sorry. This marks to this marks. Okay. So the final output would be what is the final output? Department name, student name,
And then highest marks.
highest marks. Okay, so what would be the output? Please.
Usually,
B.
D
Yes.
and
B,
first
sir.
B
Yes.
and then ECE D, right?
Yes, sir. D.
450 and again
ECE 450.
E. There are two people who got same highest marks in ECE branch. Correct?
Yeah.
Is the output. Let's write down this. Yeah, done.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, next we'll talk about group having function. Okay. Okay. So now where will we use it to filter the data, correct? Yeah. And having also will work in the similar way. Okay, but having will filter the data on top of aggregated data actually. Okay. So which means that let me just take this table without any aggregate function. Now, if I want to filter something, what we will do? Maybe based upon the tax, we'll simply write a where clause, right? Where
Yeah.
tax amount is
Order by.
greater than or equal to some 100 something. Okay, and we'll get the data because we do have in detailed information in the table, and we can directly go and apply a where clause here. Okay, but now let's say we applied a minimum here, correct? Minimum tax amount, right? So now I want to apply a filter on top of this minimum tax amount. See now, if I go and execute this, each and every customer wise, I got the minimum tax, correct?
Yes.
Now here I want to filter it out, not in the detailed information, but on top of aggregated data. This is aggregated data or not?
Yes.
When you are applying any aggregate function, then it is aggregated data. Okay, it can be min, it can be max or average or count or any other functions, sum. Okay, so now on top of this minimum tax amount, I want to apply a filter. So in such a case, what you can do is, so after group by having clause will come having. Okay, and in having clause, you cannot use this alias columns. You have to use the complete aggregated column. I mean aggregate function. Having minimum of amount, have it's not having by, it's just having. Okay, having minimum tax amount greater than, let's say, some 100. Okay, now what will happen, right? This having function will apply on top of group, I mean aggregated data. Now see, earlier it was very less number of rows. Let me see how many rows. It is 19,119 rows. But after applying having, right, it got reduced because it is giving what on top of the aggregate data. It is filtering out, right? Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So for an example, if I do sum, what will happen? Customer
Summation
wise,
will
if I do sum, what will happen? So each branch, sorry, yeah. So in each customer, this will sum, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
For customer ID 11000, these three tax amounts will get sum, and again 110 1. So these tax amounts will get sum, correct? And if you go and apply this sum, this is not minimum, this is total tax, correct? For each customer, how much tax they need to pay, correct? Hello?
correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, on top of this aggregated data, okay, I want to know only the customers whose total tax is greater than some 100 or 200 something. Okay. Whose sum of their tax amount is greater than 100.
Yeah,
Who is paying more than 100 rupees tax.
got it.
Okay. So in such a case, your having will help us actually. If it is a detailed information and we are not applying any aggregate function, means you can use a where clause to filter out. But once you aggregate the data, on top of the aggregation, if you need the filtration, right, your having will help us actually. Okay.
I think
If we use
here
the
where class means what is output we are going to get here.
Yeah. See, if I go and execute this, right?
yes, sir.
How many rows we got? 12,775. On top of directly in the tax amount column, it will be filtering out this 100, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The tax amount greater than 100, right?
Correct.
But whereas in this case, now, so now when you go here, so it will be grouped first, correct?
Correct.
Now I'm not taking minimum or maximum, I'm taking sum.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing sum, what will happen? 1 these 3 rows for see, these 3 rows are belongs to one customer, right?
Correct.
Everything will get summed. So what is
Yes.
the sum of the value?
271 plus 187 plus 200.
It is 659.9192. Can you see here my cursor?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
659 on 992 something. Okay. And same way 11001. When you do sum, the similar values which are belongs to group 2 will be grouped into one single value. I mean, it will take the sum action. Okay. So it is 5107104. 510.7104. Likewise, for every customer, it will take the sum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, 1 second. Let me do the sum for all the rows. what is the sum? 649. Let me put only the integer values, not the decimal. Okay, just for time being. And some of these 651 point. Okay, and now you can able to easily understand. 650. Okay, now your where class can apply on top of this table now, your original table. Okay, to filter out something in the tax amount, here you can apply where. Okay, now this is your aggregated data, right? This is sum of, which means total tax, correct? This is customer ID and this is the total tax amount, because we are doing sum, right?
Yes.
Now after summing up, if you want to filter out, I want the guys who are paid more than 600 rupees tax. Okay, in that case you have to use the having clause. Having sum of, you can write sum of total tax is greater than 600. Okay, so you cannot write where clause here, it's not possible. Okay,
So here, where class is going to perform on the existing data, but here having is going to perform on the output.
on the output, yes, on top of the aggregated data, we should say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Any questions, anyone? Yeah, and to perform having, group by is must and should, because having can be performed on top of aggregated data only, right? So when we are aggregating, definitely your group by will come. Correct? Yeah. Now to perform where, do we require a group by?
No, sir.
Not required. It's not mandatory, but still, if you want to write where class, you can write it. Maybe let's say I want to exclude few customers in it. Now what you can do, customers is less than or equals to, I can put 1050 something. Now how many rows will get? We'll see. Customer ID is than or equals to, no, sorry, should be greater than or equals to. Okay, 1 second. Now it will be getting less. Yeah, can you see this? So your where clause, whenever you're applying, it is applying on the top of a main table. So that is called as detailed information. Whereas your having clause will filter the data on top of the aggregated data. Okay. Any confusions? Any confusions? Hello. Yes, tell me.
Vinod, can you put where class in place of having, and we'll try how the result will be.
It won't come.
Sir, can you tell order of execution here?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Likewise, right?
Yeah.
It throws an error.
Yes.
Okay, and without this group by, if you go and execute this, see, it is throwing an error. Okay. Yeah, when we are going for a order of execution, first it will always go to from class, and then it will go to where, and group by, having,
order,
select,
order.
then order. These are the very important clauses, guys. We have covered all the clauses actually here. And let's say if you have a join and on clause, then if you have a join
After
From join.
directly join, huh?
On condition.
On condition, then
Join.
join.
If you have a top, then
last
Last order.
last the top will come. Okay, na?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
These are the total clauses actually which we have. Understand?
Sir, distinct offset.
Sorry?
Distinct limit offset.
Yeah. When you apply distinct, so I think we haven't discussed about distinct. That's why I'm not bringing that over here. Okay, once we'll discuss the distinct, right? So we'll tell you where exactly it will come. It will come at the end actually, but I'll discuss it. Okay. Yeah, these are the main clauses which we required. Yeah. Yeah. So anyone have a questions here? Applying a having function. Hello.
No, sir.
Sir, having is the condition which we use only with the aggregate function.
Yes. Having, we cannot apply, a direct, a non-aggregated column in a having actually. See, it is throwing an error. Having clause, tax amount is invalid in the having clause because it is not contained either of the aggregate function or a group by clause. Okay. So it is saying that it is a non-aggregated column. You cannot use it in the having clause. So in having clause, we should always use the aggregated columns only. So because of what, having can be filtered on top of aggregated data, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For non-aggregated, we will use where.
Yes,
clause.
exactly. For non-aggregated columns, if you want to filter something, right, we will use the where clause. For aggregated data, if you want to filter something, we'll use the having clause.
Okay.
Right? And in both the cases, we cannot use the alias columns. Do remember it. Because your alias columns will generate in the select class, right? Correct?
Yes.
But
Yes,
before
yes.
your select, having and group by is already performed. Okay, so you cannot use the alias columns, either of these columns. Only the thing is you can use in order by class. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Means, sir,
Yeah.
in any query where having function will not aggregate function will not there, we will never use a having clause.
Yes. So in a select query, if you do not have your aggregate column, right, then no need of using the having clause.
Okay.
Okay, only when we have an aggregate function, either min, max, or count anything, then only this having will come into the picture. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you write a query and you'll understand. Write a query to find customer wise total tax amount and whose total tax amount is greater than 100 rupees. Also exclude the customer IDs which are less than 50. Okay. Does the question make sense? Write a query to find out customer wise total. We are finding out, correct? And whose total tax amount is greater than 100. Whose total tax amount means sum of total is greater than 100, right?
Yes,
also exclude the customer ID, which are less than 11050. So it means where clause. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
What if it does not satisfy the condition for having clause?
It won't come. It will be 0. So for an example, if I put something like 1 second, some 10 lakh something, so it will be giving 0 result set if it is not satisfying. Okay.
Okay. It will. show only a structure.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, above is the question and below is the answer. And below that write down order of execution. For above query. And you can write down few outputs here, okay? Few records output, yeah. Okay, you are supposed to ask about order by class, huh?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
I did not execute, I did not select the order by class actually.
Yeah, sir. That's why. Yeah.
So after the order of execution, no, just draw this table and mention few records. Don't write blindly, please. If you didn't understand, please let me know. Finished?
Sir, why we cannot use alias name in this queries?
Alias names having a
Sir, as total tax is alias name, sir.
Total tax is alias column name. Yes.
Yes.
You cannot use in either in where or having, because see your alias column will get generated in select class, right? Correct. And before that your having and group by is performing, having group by your where. So
Yes.
which means this total tax is not available for these classes, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you cannot use. Understand?
Yes.
But this total tax can be used in
Order by class.
order by class, because your order by will be after select. Then right.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, done.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now below that you can write down all the classes, all the classes order of execution. Write down all the classes. Done?
Yeah.
Yeah, write down. Below that, difference between where and having. Very important question. Difference between where and having class. So one side you can put where, another side having. Okay, can you tell me some differences by seeing this query? So
Where will come
Where is
before group by, order will come after group by.
do we require
Non-aggregate.
group by to perform where?
Aggregated functions.
Where condition is
Non-aggregated
applied on
functions.
non-aggregate functions.
Yes,
Non-aggregated
write down.
function.
In where class? Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, where class should apply only on top of where class should apply only on top of non-aggregated columns. only on top of non-aggregated columns. Next, having clause should apply only on top of aggregated columns. Having clause should apply on top of aggregated column. Next, to perform where clause, group by is not mandatory. To perform where clause, group by is not mandatory. Next, to perform having, group by is mandatory. Done. Next point. Yeah, next. First, use sorry, when we apply a where clause, first data will filter. First data will filter. And then it will group the columns. And then it will group the columns. Next, in having class right now. First, it will group the columns. First, it will group the columns. First, it will group the columns. Then having class will perform. Then having class will perform. Next, this is a common point. for both. Write down this, as a single line for both where and having. Yeah, we cannot call alias columns. We cannot call both where and having clause. Sorry, we cannot call alias columns both on where and having clauses. And both where and having clauses. Done. Okay.
Sir, in this, which one has faster? Sir?
Sorry.
Which one is more fast?
Which one will be more faster?
Okay.
I think the operation between where and having is different, and we cannot tell that which one will be faster, which one will be slower, because the thing is both are filtering the data. Okay, and it is applying a non-aggregate, and this is applying an aggregate. Okay, both are doing two different operations. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, write down about the count function. Make a side heading count. See here, you can take customer wise, minimum, maximum, average, sum, anything you can take. It is your wish. Yeah, count function. Okay, so what this count function will do is it will count the number of rows in a particular table actually. Okay, so usually if I want to count, select count of star will keep actually. Okay, count of star from that particular table name. So now it will give us total number of rows in the table. If you go and execute it, see, I'm having totally 31465 rows in this table. Okay, so if you want to just confirm whether it is correct or not, so select, you can just do star and execute it. Can you see 31465? Okay, now when you apply this count of star, right, irrespective of whether it is a null value or non-null value, it will count everything actually. Okay, it will count everything. And there is one more formula, count of 1 or 1, 2, 3, anything you can take. This will also act like star only. You see, this will also give us the same results at 31465. So when you apply count of star or count of 1 or count of anything, right, from table name, it will give us the total number of rows in the table, including nulls. Okay, count total number of rows, including nulls, guys. Okay, na nulls kuda calculate chestund one row ga. Okay, this will also same. And for an example, I just want to see the data in the table first before applying the next syntax. So select star from my table name. Okay, yeah, I'll just go and apply on top of salesperson ID. This is the column. Okay, so now select count of column name I'm taking instead of star or one. You see, instead of 1 you can take anything, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything you can take, no issues. You will get the same results. If you want the confirmation, I can go and execute this. See, still you will get 31465. Why will use only one means just for simplification. Okay. So I'll use salesperson ID from my table name. Okay. Now you see how many rows we'll get, whether we'll get the 31465 or will it be less than this. See, now it is less than this, right? So which means when you apply count of a column name, the SQL server will ignore the nulls in that particular column and then it will give us the remaining records. So I'll show you we'll just make a confirmation whether it is correct or not. Select star from table name. Let me see how many null values are there or non-null values are there. Where is null? So let's see how many null records are there. How many null records are there? 27,659, correct? 27,659. And how to find out the non-null values in that particular column is not null. Correct? Are you following?
Yes.
Yeah. Non-null values will be in that particular column. It would be 38 and if you go and execute these, we are getting what? See, here we are getting the non-null values, right? 380. Yes or no? So when you apply a count of a column name, right? So in that particular column, whatever null values are there, it will get ignored. Only non-null values it will count and it will give it for us. Okay. It depends on the column to column. So if I go and apply for a different column, let's say instead of salesperson ID, let me take this currency rate ID, and we'll see what is the output. Will it be same 3806 or will it different?
Different.
It will be different. It might same or it might differ, right? Currency spelling wrong. Currency rate ID. If we go and execute this, say I'm getting 13,976 because those many non-null values are there, right? So just to confirm it, I'm just going to execute this non-null value 13,976. Okay. And here also I'm getting 13,976. So meaning when you the count of star and count of one will act like same. It will count the total number of records including nulls. Whereas when you apply a particular column name, okay, so then what will happen? It will count only the non-null values. It's very, very, very important, guys. Interview ki ee mood kachchidanga adugutadu. They will give us the syntax like this. They will ask the difference between all the three syntaxes. What will happen when you do count of star? What will happen when you do count of one? What will happen when you do count of a column name? So count of star and count of one will act like same. So it will count the total number of records, including nulls as well. And when you specifically mention a column name, then it will ignore the nulls in that particular column. It will give us only non-null values. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Having
Why it is functioning differently for column and why it is functioning differently for the entire table?
Yeah. So when you mention star, right? So it cannot ignore the nulls because star means what? All the columns, right?
Correct.
On basis on all the columns, it will count the number of rows. So in such a case, it will ignore it because it cannot find where exactly the nulls will be. Okay, so it will ignore the counting. I mean, it won't ignore the nulls. It will calculate everything. But when you specifically mention a particular column, it knows it, right? Whether there is a null record in that particular column or not.
Okay.
Okay, so that it will ignore that nulls and it will consider only non-null values in this case. So depends on the situation, we'll use the either count of star or count of column name. Okay. So there will be a question like I want in a whole table. In a whole table, can you tell me how many null values are there? How do you do that? There are let's say there are 3 columns in a table. Okay. ID, name, sal. Now the values for these columns
We
would
will apply count function
A
correctly on all the 3 columns.
null, B null, 2 null, 100. Now I want to find out how many nulls in the whole table.
Sir, we will apply count function separately with each column name.
Can you tell me the query?
Select count.
Select count.
ID.
ID.
From table name.
From table name. Okay. This will give us only first column non-null values, right?
Separately.
ID plus.
Yes, sir.
Plus.
Plus.
By
Count name.
Okay. Plus count of
Name.
Plus.
count of cell.
Count of cell. So this will give us what? In every column, when you are applying a count function, right? This will give us 2, correct?
Yes.
2, because 2 non-null values are there. This will give us 2. This will give us only 1 non-null value, correct? So totally it will combine, it will do sum and it will give it for us like 5 or
4.
5, no. 1, 2, A, B and 100. 5 non-null values, right? In the whole table. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If suppose if I want to find out how many nulls are there, then what you need to do?
Is null.
Is null.
No. See totally how many nulls in the whole table?
4 nulls.
4
4 nulls. How do you count it?
Count of
How will you write a
count of null.
select?
Count star.
Select.
Count star.
Count of star
Minus.
minus
Count of ID.
count of ID. Exactly. So now what will happen? Count of star means what is the output?
Complete.
3 records. 3 minus count of ID means 2. So it means from the total number of rows, if you remove non-null values in that particular column, we'll get nulls only, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So it will give us 1, right? And for the same, if you want to do for name, what you need to do? Plus. No, it's not minus. Plus, right? We need to count the number of nulls.
Yes.
Count of star, comma, count of name. Correct?
After minus, we can directly use bracket method.
No, you cannot. You cannot do that. So from the total number of rows, you need to minus every column non-null values. Okay?
Can you repeat once?
Yeah.
Can you repeat?
Yes. So if I evaluate this this function, I mean this query, right? So count of star means 3, correct?
Yeah.
Minus count of ID means it will give us only non-null values. How many non-null values are there?
2.
Plus again 3 minus how many non-null values in the name column? 2 or
2.
plus
2.
again 3 minus how many non-null values?
1.
1. So it will become totally
3 minus 2 1. 3 minus 2 1. 3 minus 1 2. 4.
4.
Yeah.
So if you do, somebody is saying that why can't we put like this? Count of star minus of, correct? Count of ID plus, right? Like this you are saying, right? Count of ID plus count of name plus count of salary, correct? So can you apply this and tell me what is the output you will get? So what is the count of star? 3 minus count of ID will be 2 plus 1 na?
Negative.
Yeah.
Minus
What is the value you get?
minus
2.
Minus
2.
minus 2. Is it correct?
No.
So you cannot apply this. Okay.
Yeah.
It will be total number of columns minus non-null values in that particular column. So if you want, this will be syntax is for what? finding total
Non.
I mean, finding count of nulls. Avuna?
Yeah.
Null records in whole table. And the above one would be count of C.
Valid records.
Finding count of non-null records.
Null records.
Yes. These are all important for the interview guys. Okay. Second. First write down this one, then you can go ahead with this. Write down these three things. Here I just put like it will count only non-null values on top of salesperson ID column. Okay, write down this. And then draw this table, write down these two questions and output this.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I didn't understand finding count of null records.
Count of
Null records.
see what it will do. What is count of star?
Total
Total number of rows.
records.
Nulls, right?
Yes.
So it will be 3, right?
Yes.
3 minus what is count of ID?
In ID.
When you mention count of ID, what it will count?
Null records. Sir.
It will null.
No, it will.
No.
Count of column name means what it will count. Here I have mentioned count of column name, right?
Yes, sir.
It will count only non-null values.
Non-null values.
Yes. So here what is the non-null values in ID column? Look at the ID column.
Yes, sir, 192.
1?
92.
1 and 2. How many rows it will be?
2.
So 3 minus 2?
Okay.
1, right?
1.
So which means if you from total number of rows, if you minus non-null values, obviously only nulls will be there, right?
Yes.
Nulls count. Same way we'll do for name and salary column as well.
Okay.
Minus 2 and 3 minus 1. Totally it will become as 4 records. So if you count the number of null values in the total table will be 4, right?
Okay.
Now we are getting 4 here.
Okay.
So today I'm going to share you this telephonic interviews. Okay. So you start listening those telephonic interviews from now onwards. You can understand at least half of the things now. Done?
Yes, sir.
Now you can answer at least 4 to 5 questions in your question paper using this count function. Finished? Finished?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I think I have answered this one, Santosh. Done? Can you please mute? Finished?
No,
Not yet.
We don't have any query to calculate direct nulls values. No. This is the only way to find out. Done? Yeah. Everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here I just want to tell you one thing. See here, customer wise, we find out the minimum maximum tax amounts, right? For an example, I want to know how many orders they have placed. Each and every customer, how many orders they have placed. How to do that? See, each customer is placing multiple orders, right? How do you count it?
Count of column name. Count of column name.
Yes, so here you can just put count of, either you can put star or column name, because anyway the customer ID doesn't have any nulls. Okay, understand? See, when there is no nulls, right, keeping star or column name is same, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
When there is no nulls in the customer ID column, your count of star, count of one, count of column name will give us the same result set. Yes or no? I'll show you the example. See, for an example, there is a sales order ID something that is a primary key. Obviously, we do not have any null values, correct? So when you go and execute these three, you'll get the same number of records. Can you see? If there is no nulls, obviously the result set would be same for all, correct?
Yes.
So which means you can use either count of star or you can use count of column name. Both are same, right? So now what it will do is it will group that column and it will tell us how many orders in each and every, how many orders which are placed by every customer will display over here. Okay. Now, if I want to know the customer who are placed more than 4 orders, then
Having class.
having
Count of
star
Count of star.
is greater than or equals to 4, correct? So now we can able to get to know, yeah, there are so many people who has order more than 4 times. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can put the customer ID column also. Still the results it would be same. If you want, I can show you count of customer ID. How many rows is this? Remember 792. And if I go and execute this, you'll be getting same 792. Okay. So if there is a non-null values in the column, right, using star or column name, both will return the same results. You can use anything. Only when we have a null, then there is a different case. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
No, this should not write like this. This is a static query. Don't write like this, okay? Yeah. So write a query to find out customer wise total number of orders. And I'm not going to put having here. Okay. Write a query to find out customer wise total number of orders. Okay. Write down count of star or count of column, anything is fine. I'll just put both. Or count of star. Count of one kuda pettochu. Okay. It's your wish. You can write both the queries. Okay. So with this, I'll wind up the class. So tomorrow we'll discuss. Okay, try to practice more and more queries on top of these aggregate functions. So I'm stopping the recording.